Hey there everybody, I'm Chef Johnny. You found Texas style cuisine and you have found me in a different location without a doubt. I have snuck up here to Austin for the day and I'm cooking with a couple other guys that are YouTube people that we're going to bring on here in just a second and let you see them. But I tell you what, it's going to be fun. I'm just doing some side dishes with them today. But I've got James. Come on over here, James. James has got ribs going. If you've never seen Aim 'em and Claim 'em, right here, barbecue team and YouTube channel. James is here, he's doing ribs. He's got some beef ribs, he's got some baby backs, some spare ribs. Right. So we're gonna have some of that behind the scenes stuff going on and let y'all see that. And then we have got a hot and fast brisket going that's looking pretty. Been on for almost 2 hours now. And the gentleman that does that is the master over here. We're gonna bring him into the camera scene now. We can get him up out of his easy chair.
I was just relaxing.
There we go. Troy, T-Roy Cooks right there.
Out here, about.
Anyways, glad to have them. Glad they invited me up here today. But stay tuned. We're going to do a couple of side dishes right now. I'm going to show you how to make my potato salad. A lot of people ask me for that. And then later on, we're going to do some Jack Daniel's baked beans. And we're going to eat really good today. Hang out with these guys and let y'all see what's going on when we get together in video. I'm gonna get started right here. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna show a lot of the details. One thing I did want to do is the celery. When I do my potato salad, I don't do big chunks of celery. So I'm just gonna go with 2 stalks, and this is 2.5 pounds. I'm gonna put the recipe down below. And on the recipe, it's a 5-pound bag of russet potatoes is what I use. But on these, I'm just gonna come in here and I'm gonna cut it, each stalk into 4 slices, so that I don't have any huge chunks. If you got a big bottom, kind of like that one on it, I'll come up here and split it off too. But I like some crunch, but I don't like huge chunks of celery in mine. But we're just gonna take our celery now, line it up, and we're gonna cut these real thin. No big chunks. You can tell I got a good sharp knife on here. Borrowing T-Roy's table here off the Weber Performer for my cutting table today. But that's it. 2.5 pounds of potatoes, 2 stalks of celery, just a couple other small ingredients I'm going to show y'all here in just a second. So take those, and I'm going to tell you one thing. Don't dump everything on top of your potatoes. If you do, when you try to stir all your ingredients together, you're going to break those potatoes up more than you want them to. So I'm going to drop the celery in. Now I'm going to come back. And I need 10 ounces of mayo. And this is 15, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Maybe use my... Yeah, it's going to come out. Yeah, right there. That looks good. Next, and like I said, it's a simple recipe. 1/2 cup of Sweet Relish, 1/2 cup of Dill Relish. Seasonings, Hidden Valley Ranch. You can buy these, Sam sells these. Or if you just go to the grocery store, buy the little bags. The little bags are 1 ounce of Hidden Valley Ranch salad dressing, not the dip. Get the salad dressing mix. 1 bag is 1 ounce, and that's what goes in 5 pounds. But today I'm gonna use a half an ounce because we are only doing a half a batch today. So I'm gonna take my tables. 1/2 ounce is like a heaping tablespoon. Right there. And that's all the ingredients. That's why this is simple, but people rave about this. And I'm not real sure why, but they do. Stir this up good. And just basic cooking your potatoes. You know, you cook them boil them for about 20 minutes. So I've got a bowl for the potato salad. Already cooked those yesterday. And I tell you one thing, give you a little heads up. This potato salad is better the 2nd and the 3rd day. If you let it sit and marinate with itself, kind of all the flavors marry together, it comes out really, really good. So I like making mine a day or 2 before actually. So 2.5 pounds of russet potatoes. All of my sauce is in on top of it. And now just stir it in. Potato salad's ready. We're going to get it back on ice. We're not eating until this afternoon, but that's going to give this time to sit and rest a while. But Texas style cuisine. That's our potato salad.
Alright folks, it's been about 20 minutes or so, and you can see we're holding 400 now. Top vent's wide open, all 3 bottom vents are wide open. If it goes up 25 degrees or goes down 25 degrees, I'm not concerned about it. As long as it's close to 400, we're good. And it is 10:08. Let's see how long this thing takes to cook. It is it's a 15 and a half pound brisket. And no water pan, okay folks? Water pan is out, not in here. We're going fat side down. And I've got Harry Sue's beef rub on here. And that's all. I didn't put any binder or anything. So we're going to put the lid back on. And every 15 minutes we're going to rotate the grill grate 15 or 90 degrees. So we'll show that for you here in a little bit. Y'all stay tuned.
Back in here with James.
W sauce. This will rub this
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
However you say that.
Worcestershire. That's why I call it W.
W's a lot easier
Right
to say
every
that.
time.
Got some little beef ribs on there.
Get some Cosmo Q cow cover as the first layer. There's not any really meat on the bottom side, but I'm one of those people that I just always treat the bottom like I do the top.
But it's still, you pull that membrane off, so some of that flavor can get to that back side of that
Yeah.
rib.
I usually won't go as heavy if I'm cooking at home as I would the top, but you know, sometimes when they're done cooking, I like to just gnaw on the back of that rib, on the back of that bone.
Well,
So-
too, when you take that bite, you know, the bottom side is putting flavor in your mouth.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I was actually just telling someone, a buddy of mine that I'll be cooking with here in a few weeks. At a comp, he was doing some ribs and he didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the bottom. I was telling him that exact same thing. Like the first thing that judge bites or touches, their tongue touches, is the bottom of the rib. So, you know, season it, sauce it, treat it just like you would the top.
There you go. Good information right there.
Because you only get one bite, and you only have one chance to impress them. So I didn't do a whole lot of trimming on the top of these ribs. I mean, these are just, you know, ribs that we're gonna just snack on. So I didn't, you know, clean them up very, very well.
And that fat across those renders pretty good. That's a pretty good rendering fat on them. Cow cover, go on with cow cover. Same way we did the other side. Troy coming over here to inspect and make sure we're doing stuff right.
Oh, I know James is doing it right. Have all the faith in the world in James. Alright guys, it's been 15 minutes. Again, we're just going to rotate this 90 degrees. That's going to help keep the bottom from being in one hot spot. It's going to rotate it around. It's going to be more even cooking. Every 15 minutes, go ahead and give her a spin. We'll bring her back in a little while.
There we go, a spin. Troy's doing a hot and fast. We're at 400 degrees and every 15 minutes we're rotating it. So just got through with one of our rotations on this hot and fast.
Come back with that Texas beef. This was the rub combination, you know, that I was thinking about using on that brisket if you hadn't sauced it. I mean, if you hadn't rubbed it.
Yeah.
But we got Harry Sue's own invention on Harry Sue's fast.
Yeah, this is what we used on the brisket.
There we go. There you go, slap your daddy.
That should do it.
From Harry Sue. We're gonna see that.
Moolah.
It tastes good. It tastes good. I sampled it. It's a good taste. Gonna let those sit, soak a little while on there.
Yeah, pat it, don't rub it.
Why is it called a rub, James?
Gotta call it something. Rub sounds better than pat. But when you rub it, what happens is you're moving all that rub around, and you got spots that have more rub than other spots, and man, I just can't do it. So just pat it in, so that way, you know, you work to get an even coating on there, and then you go and rub it out or rub it around and mess it up.
There you go. Those look pretty though.
So, yeah, we'll let them sit for, I don't
Toast
know,
up
10
there a
minutes,
little
15 minutes maybe. And then put them on the grill.
Looks good. Here we go. Coming off. This makes 2 hours, right?
Hour and 45 minutes
Hour,
right now, but yeah.
right there, hour 45.
Spin at 90 degrees, spritz it again. A little beef broth going on.
We make that spin just to change where the heat's hitting that brisket.
Exactly.
Moisten up the top.
Yep. So another 15 minutes, we'll take it off, we'll wrap it, and bring the temp down to about 275 to 300.
Finish it down there.
Let's get this bad boy.
James, get those ribs in.
Gonna get them loaded. Let's see.
this is
We're
a
gonna
second.
put the baby backs. I'm sorry, the spares in the back, and we'll put the baby backs right here in front. That's it.
That looks
Get
good.
Get it closed up and get these ribs cooked.
We're gonna get that pretty T-Roy cooks on the side of this Lone Star grill. And it's looking good. They're 20-inch model, what this is. Looks good, and I bet you James's ribs are gonna be most excellent. I think this is the second cook on this pit, so
Yeah,
it's
these,
getting baptized, man.
yeah, these ribs are gonna be good.
I'll make you
Yeah.
try them.
So,
Well, I'll tell you what.
Put a woodchuck underneath?
No, I didn't. It's just,
So it's bolted on its own.
it is. But it's this is a Costco prime brisket, and like I said, if it were flat down here and pooling a little liquid,
Right.
which will hurt your bark, I would throw a wood chunk under that section so it'll
Lift
make
it up
the
a little
wood,
bit.
yeah, so the water or juice will roll off.
So, man, you look at that brisket right now, and you'd look at it and go, oh, that thing's been on there about 7 or 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
It's got that color
But
to
it's
it.
really odd. I mean, you can actually see this if you go back and look when I first put it on. It wasn't puffed up like this. It actually puffs up during this hot and fast cook. It kind of swells up.
We're filming over Troy's shoulder here. There you got his smoke. Oh, there you go. We are smoking, aren't we?
yes, sir. Get these.
Those ribs, pork ribs up top we put on a while ago, and we're going on with our beef ones now. Slide them toward the back. It's brand new, beautiful, beautiful Lone Star grill.
Push them together.
Yeah, you see how he's packing them? How y'all can see that? It just condenses the meat where it's not spread out so much, and when it contracts, it doesn't squeeze out as much moisture.
Yeah, and how you lay them in there is the way they're going to cook. So usually, like in comps, my spare ribs, I like to
Makes them
compact
puff a
really
little
good,
bit.
right? So it makes them a little thicker. So they're going to cook that way also. They're going to have a thicker rib.
Yeah, this is this hot and fast brisket, and we are 2 hours in. We're fixing to wrap it up, but it's got some beautiful color. It's puffed up like Troy was talking about, and it's looking good. He's actually outside setting the pit to bring the temperature back down, and y'all will be able to see that in his video. But that is this brisket getting ready to wrap.
That color is 2 hours in to get it hot and fast. That's some dang good color.
It is, isn't it? So I was telling Troy, I said, it looks like it's almost ready to slice. But it's a long ways from it, but that color's there. Made the boat in the foil.
Put some spritz in here. It's a little beef broth. I'm putting it around the brisket instead of over the top of it because I don't want that rub to wash off. Probably enough. Right on.
And this is a good heavy duty. Oops, bust the rib to it, even though it's heavy duty. Gotta be careful, it will bust a hole in it.
Yeah.
Of course, that's gonna
That's why you
cost
double
us.
layer it.
Yeah.
That's right, he's got another one laying under it, that's why we do that.
We'll do this.
Yeah, there you go. Just gotta be careful, that happens to all of us. But that's gonna hold that moisture in, and that brisket's gonna steam up in there and start getting tender. So what, we're gonna be at about 300 degrees now?
275 to 300, yeah.
Okay.
And we're still going fat side down. And as you notice, I put the shiny side of the aluminum foil on the inside. That helps reflect the heat back into the brisket.
There we go.
Throw this
Good
back
tip.
on once my WSM comes down to about 275 or 300. We'll throw this back on, keep cooking.
Sounds good. Looks good. Thumbs up. There's James's thumbs up too. There it is. Always good thumbs up. That's what you're looking for right there, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hanging down.
Now it's time to wrap these bad boys. Got some nice color. The bark is set. You can tell if you scrape a little bit, it doesn't come off. So,
Pretty.
That's pretty.
we're gonna take them inside. We got some foil with some goodness already laid out. We're gonna lay these bad boys in there, get them wrapped up, back on the pit. Oh, perfect. We'll take both
There you go.
at one time.
Little cutting board right
you go.
there.
Forget we had that out.
T-Roy, helping out. Brother James.
Forget we had that out here.
Oh yeah, man.
We got all the finer accessories needed in life right here, man.
Yeah, so you can tell when you scratch it, you know, that
Yes,
bark's not
that-
coming off. So a lot of people will ask, how do you know when to wrap? Well, when that bark is set, and this is how you can tell. Just kind of scrape it a little bit, or you know, you can touch it and pull away if you don't have a lot of rub. You know, it's set. So we're gonna take these inside. We got some foil already laid out to get them wrapped up and get them back on the pit.
Okay.
All right, folks, we got down to about 300. That took about 20, 25 minutes. As you can see, I wrapped the brisket foil, the shiny side inside, and we're still going fat side down. Since the water pan's in there, there's no need to rotate this any further. Just gonna let that baby cook to 275, and between 275 and 300 for the remainder of the cook, which should be another 3 hours or so. We'll start probing for tenderness, and after a couple of hours, we'll bring you back in.
And so what we have here is, I've actually just laid out some butter, some brown sugar, some honey, and some of Brother Johnny's barbecue sauce, and a little bit of tiger sauce. That's the secret.
Yeah,
The tiger sauce. Lay that meat side down,
some pretty looking ribs, man.
and
They're beautiful
Gonna-
color.
kind of come back and just repeat the process. So you missed it the first time, but you'll see it here. That butter is just going to add, you know, a little more moisture, a little extra flavor profile. Take some honey. Right over the top. Take some tiger sauce. Good stuff. This is the secret right here.
I actually have some other bottle.
Yeah, we might need that other bottle. That tiger sauce has got some sweetness with just a tad bit of heat.
You don't have to open it, but it's there. Gotta keep the tiger sauce in my pantry, man.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to try that. I've never tried it.
Oh, tiger sauce.
Brown sugar. Remember the rub we used has some heat to it, so you know this honey and brown sugar, along with the fat that rendered out, is going to kind of tame that heat a little bit.
So, question for you, James.
Yes.
Do you also put some more of the rub on at this point, or no?
I'll do that at the end.
Oh, very
Or
good. After it's wrapped?
Yeah, after I unwrap them,
Okay.
resauce them, then I'll apply a light coating of the rub. Now, a lot of people do add the rub in the wrap, and you can definitely do that. Since I add it at the end, I don't add it to the wrap, but
Okay.
you can definitely do that. So this sauce is sauce that Brother Johnny made up. It's his sauce, and this is what we're running with.
That's some good sauce, John.
It's not bad stuff. I like it pretty well. We came up with a pretty good recipe.
So, whew, that's a good sauce. Get it wrapped up. Double layer it. Because what's going to happen is these ribs are going to continue cooking, and as they cook, those bones are going to protrude some more. So I've done it where I just put one wrap, and it busts through every time. So just about every time. So don't make sure you double wrap it.
Better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
You see you're going the shiny side outside.
Shiny side outside, yeah. Okay. That's just how I've always done it,
All right.
and you know, it works. So, that's it. We're gonna do the exact same thing to the spare ribs.
And I know I asked Terry Sue this, but you put your ribs meat side down when you put them back in the foil in the cooker.
Yeah. Well, what's happening is you want the meat to kind of marinate in all this goodness.
Right.
Because once it heats up, you'll see that it's going to turn into a liquid. So putting the meat side down, that meat is just kind of sitting in all that flavor. Now the downside is you have to be really careful because the brown sugar does burn. And if you let the fire get away from you, you can burn the rack. So I suggest always checking it at the 45-minute mark. If you feel it needs to go longer, then go, another hour, or check it at the hour mark, so 15 minutes later, and every 15 minutes after that. I've been at a cook-off where I didn't do that, and the entire rack burned, and I had to throw the entire rack away. So,
Live and learn, man.
yeah.
I appreciate you sharing some of your techniques with us.
All right, we're getting these baked beans going. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a few pieces of bacon, drop it into my pan, probably about 4 or 5 good slices. And we're just going to render the fat out of that bacon. I don't want to get it crispy, but I want to get some fat out of it. Just keep cooking it down. We're going to get that rendered out, and I'll get the onions in. Let me get back with you. This bacon is releasing its fat, and it's also starting to tender up some. It's almost where I want it. And we're going to let it keep cooking, but we're going to cook it in here with the onions. I got about a half of a medium onion diced up. Gonna drop it in with it. And now we're just gonna saute these onions till they're tender. Here we go. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you this. Look, these guys are gonna try to tell you they've been slaving over a hot fire all day. Well, I think if you look, James has got a Tito's in his hand, and there we at. Went too far. There's Troy right there with another cold one there. And who's out cooking?
Listen,
Chef Johnny.
it's called initiation.
My initiation into the club here, huh?
First time.
T-Roy's backyard club. I got to freaking cook.
There you go, man. Why do you think we get you to come over?
That's it. Now I found out why they wanted to invite me over. Do that and do the dishes.
Maybe somebody else next time.
Take out the trash.
So beware if I invite you over to Troy's house. You know what you're in for.
Yeah, you'll see Johnny with us, and you'll be behind the camera.
That's right.
Our onions are soft. So what I'm going to do is now, I'm going to take some brown sugar. And the reason why I cook these first is I know a lot of people who do baked beans and they'll just drop their onions right into their beans. But if you cook them first, it gives you a little different flavor profile. You bring up the sugars in those onions, and you lose some of the sharpness of them. So I got 2 nice tablespoons of brown sugar. Go ahead, stir that in now. So we're just caramelizing up that sugar. I'm gonna open up my Van Camp's pork and beans. You know what, folks, this is an easy dish. It's just tastes great, easy to do. 28-ounce can of pork and beans. And we're just gonna simmer these beans. We'll turn my heat down a little bit. If you wanted to, you could cook these the whole time on here, just simmer them all the way through. We're not gonna do that. We want some smoky flavor. So these actually are gonna go on to the pit. Take my Worcestershire sauce, and I do always use the Lee and Perrins. My daddy used that, so I guess I took soup from him. But one time, spilled a little bit there. 2 times. Get about a tablespoon of yellow mustard. And give it a good little squirt. Work our mustard in well. Last thing, Jack Daniels. Y'all know I like to cook with Jack Daniels, so I'm gonna come in here and Turn the heat down. Be careful, you could flambe up. We don't want that to happen. In fact, I'm just going to turn it all the way off. But I'm going to, there's 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of Jack Daniels. Turn the fire back on again. We're going to get this hot again, get it to a little simmer. I'm going to put it in a pan. We're going to set it on this Lone Star grill behind me and let it soak in some, there you go. You like that smell, don't you?
Somebody say Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to get a straw and try to suck the Jack Daniels out of the beans?
I was out in the pool, folks, and the smell was just intoxicating. I had to just come check it out and see what's going on. That's
It's
looking
here.
good.
We're going to hope it tastes good, too.
It's going to be good.
It looks good and it smells good. Got James over there on camera, too. Oh, he's already off. There you go. James is doing a little filming.
Yeah. I just heard Jack Daniels, so I had to come.
Yeah. You want to find out how to get them two out of the pool? Say Jack Daniels. You'd be surprised. They bounced up out of there like superheroes coming
Well, I
over
think
here.
that's our name. One of us is named Jack, the other one is Daniel.
Yeah.
Hey, we thought you were calling us.
How you doing, Daniel?
Not too bad. How about you, Jack?
I'm doing good, man.
All right.
We're looking good. I'm going to sample this one more time. Check my sauce. I think it's about ready. We're going to put it in the grill. It's going to absorb some of our juices once it gets in that Lone Star grill on that pit and thicken them up a little bit, but looks like it's going to be real good. I'm just going to take a disposable half pan, pour my beans in. If you want to let this simmer on the stove, I'd go about 20 minutes maybe. 20 to 30 in the oven, 350. About 15-20 minutes to get to bubbling really, really good. And that sugar will help this candy up and thicken up a little bit. But on this pit, we're running about 225, so probably going to be about 30-45 minutes for them to get where I want them to be with the consistencies.
Hot, hot,
Y'all
hot,
saw how
tender.
we wrapped these a while ago. You need another pair of tongs? I got a pair in my
think I got
bag
it.
there.
Look at that.
I got it. Woo. Look at that, Fifi. Look good, don't it? Look good, don't it?
I'm a barbecue dog right here.
Those are the spares. Yeah. Get this, maybe you can see it a little better.
Good, huh?
So the baby backs over here. So what I've done so far is I've just sauced the backside and then I've dusted it lightly with some of the rub. We're going to repeat the process on the front side. Whew.
Little baby backs are pretty.
Yeah, so got that there, and what we're going to do is take some of Johnny's sauce here. Right on top, both of these racks, since we use the same sauce. When we wrapped, and I like to pat it instead of
Brushing it.
brushing, yeah, so you don't get those streaks.
So at this point, you're going to leave them unfoiled?
Yeah. So these we seasoned with the Killer Bees honey rub chipotle. So I'm just going to give it a really light dusting on top. This is just going to kind of reinforce the flavors of the rub that we added at the beginning. You don't go too heavy, just a really light coating. And on the baby backs, we use the Dirty Bird Hot. So that's what we're going to use here. Again, just a really light coating. Put them back on the pit for probably about 10 minutes. I mean, if the temp it's in that, put them on for about 10 minutes and just kind of let that sauce set a little bit, and they'll be good to go. Then we get to cut into them and eat them.
They're looking good.
Best part.
Fifi's ready.
Beefy's ready.
Boy, I tell
Oh,
you
you know,
what.
one thing I will do that I forgot. You know, this liquid, that brown sugar, honey, butter, tiger sauce, all that stuff that we added in there, I will.
Drizzle it back on
yeah.
top.
Yeah. I won't brush it on, but I will drizzle it on. I mean, there's just this liquid. There's just so much flavor in there.
That's some love right there, man.
Yeah. So I'm just, the tenderness is there, the color's there, everything's there. We just want to let that sauce set. So we're gonna get these back on the pit, and we'll pick back up in 10-15 minutes.
You want me to throw another log over there, James?
Man, these bad boys are done.
Oh, okay. All right.
They finished.
Drum roll. You can get a drum roll here.
Here, come over here, man.
What they look like.
Oh, yeah. Put it off real quick. Ooh, oh, yeah.
Yeah, you forget about that.
Yep. Man, look at that sun glinting off those nice mahogany ribs.
That's something, isn't it?
Oh my God.
They are shiny.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that sauce is set.
Mm.
They look good.
Man,
Nice,
we didn't put
nice
no
color.
rib candy on there, man.
We aren't gonna need it today.
No,
I got
was gonna
some.
say,
You want some?
Oh, we
see
get
what's
most
got
of
on
them.
it.
I got some.
There's a lot of flavor on it right now.
It's not yours, but it's mine. Mango habanero. I got it right here. Man, forgot about it.
This is hot enough. We'll just pour a little bit on there, and
Feel it kind of slather across.
the residue heat will.
Yeah, this has been in
Set
the
it.
fridge. Been in the fridge. Yeah, there you
There we go.
go. Peach cranberry habanero. How about that?
There you go.
We'll rock with that.
Let's try it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
There you go.
We call these ribs everything but the kitchen sink
There you
ribs.
go.
That's
We're
right.
just throwing stuff in. I like that rib candy, man. That's good stuff.
And we're not going to put it back on the pit. These ribs are hot enough that this rib candy will kind of spread out. Alright, I think we're good. So these are done. We're going to take them inside and we'll let them sit for 5 minutes.
If we wait that long.
Yeah, we wait that long. And then we'll get to cutting.
I get it. Alright, guys. We're here with Johnny and Brother James. We're going to be cutting up this brisket here. We decided we're going to do some burn-ins for you folks. Just a little add-on to what we're doing today. James, you have the knife?
I do.
Let's get to slicing, folks. This is going to be good.
They're gonna be great.
Alright, let's get this brisket separated. We got the flat up top, the point on the bottom. We're going to separate this. You just take your knife, it'd like easily glide right through that fat to separate the flat from the point. Just like that.
This brisket smells heavenly, y'all.
Yeah, so this is a flat here where your slices will come from. This is where your burn-ins will come from, which is what we're about to make.
Yes.
So we're going to take this flat and just put it aside for now. Just kind of get it out of the way.
I'm going to go ahead and quickly wrap it. Just keep it warm.
Yeah, so
Get it out of the way.
and this point here, we're going to slice it up. You said you wanted a slice out of this, didn't you?
I did. I want one slice so we can taste it, and then we're going to cube it to make some burn-ins.
Perfect, because I got to cut some of this off anyway.
Okay, cool. You got
So
a little bit of the flat, maybe?
exactly. That's
Okay.
that's exactly why.
Yeah.
So that's probably good there.
Sweet. Yeah, let's give that a
Oh,
try.
that's good. Yeah, we gotta eat that.
No kidding, man.
But I
My
mean,
mouth's
I don't know,
salivating
cut
right
it,
now.
just cuts right apart.
What a bunch of Pavlov's dogs around here just drooling all over the place.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right, I'm gonna have this part. You guys can have whatever part you want. You want me to cut in half?
Yes,
You
go
want
ahead.
both?
Slice that in half. Both
All right.
of those. Oh yeah, man.
Right there.
There you go. Cheers,
Yeah,
guys.
I'm gonna take this part right here.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There you go.
Mmm. So beefy.
Man,
Tender.
there you go. That's good stuff.
It's got a nice smoke flavor too.
It does.
God, that's so good.
Really nice. And I use cherry wood.
All right,
Man, Harry Sue's rub's really good.
it is.
I'm gonna take another piece of it.
Go for it, man.
I'm gonna just cube this up.
Okay.
I'll try to go
Give it a
about
little slice too.
an inch
Oh man.
cube.
If you keep cutting, we'll keep eating.
No kidding, man. I'll take this piece right here.
Good stuff, yeah.
Appreciate you doing this. Oh, Chef Johnny, I forgot, man. You did some competition cooking too, didn't you?
I have.
Yeah, you actually did really well.
Man, this is really, really
Can't
cool.
wait to try
I'm
that.
not putting very much pressure at all on this knife, and it's cutting like right through it.
butter.
Yeah, so there's gonna be some big old chunks.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, that's gonna get back on that pit.
Mm-hmm.
Turn out great.
Yeah, we still have the
This
Lone Star
one.
Grill going. We're gonna
Cut this one in half.
hope you are enjoying this, and I appreciate James and brother Chef Johnny over here joining me today.
So these. All right, so we got this the brisket point chopped up into some burn ends. Take them, place them in a pan here. These things are actually really tender already, and they're just only going to get a little more tender as they go back in the pit. So let's get these. And then what we're going to do with these burn ends is we're going to dust them with a couple of other rubs. It's not the rub that we originally put on the brisket, but I think these are going to go. These rubs will go great with this, or these the rubs that we're going to use here will go great with the rub that we started with. So the first rub that we're going to go with is this Cosmo Q cow cover. We're going to dust it with some of this. This rub is great on beef.
Sure is. That's why almost half of it's gone. I've been using that, man. That's good stuff.
It just smells good, this rub. I like it. Darren, you got a good product here, brother.
Sure enough.
The next rub we're going to use, this is Cosmo Q Texas Beef Rub. These two rubs together, I think are a great combination. We use it on some beef ribs that we're going to try here in just a little while. And these two rubs are just really, really good together. So that's why we're using them.
Yeah. And this brisket was already seasoned up with Harry Sue, so it's got a nice flavor, but this is just enhancing what's already there.
Yeah, we're playing around with these rubs, but I think they're going to go great with Harry's rub.
I'm sure they will.
Next, we're going to sauce them with some Head Country apple habanero.
That's good stuff, y'all.
It is. I'll tell you what. I'm going to give your people a little secret.
Okay.
And I'm going to give your people, Johnny, a little secret. If you guys don't tell anybody, I'm going to tell you this.
Y'all be quiet.
But this, I don't even know what I should say. This is a rub I use in competition. This is a sauce that I use in competitions.
Oh, yeah?
This exact sauce, Head Country apple habanero.
You heard it here first, folks.
God's honest truth. So, I probably shouldn't say that, but you know what? If you guys follow me, you know I like to give you guys tips and tricks and, you know, help you guys out any way I can. So,
Yeah. Help them up their game.
yeah, it's cool. This is one that I use on my brisket in competitions. And
It's some good sauce, too.
on my ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really, really, it goes great with beef, great with pork. It's just some good stuff. So we're gonna get these tossed in the sauce and get them back on the pit.
Anyways, I tell you what, we are here at T. Roy's with Troy, with James, anyone claiming smokers. And I tell you what, find both the channels. There'll be links below. But we have got some tremendous looking spare ribs and some baby backs that James has done for us today. And we are anxious to give these a try. I bet you they're pretty tremendous.
They sure
I think
do
they're
look
gonna be good.
Yeah, they're good. There ain't no doubt about that. Question is we just gotta have enough of them.
Yeah, that'll be enough.
Let's get to cutting. Let's see what they look like,
Yeah.
man. They look good on the outside. How they look on the inside, James?
We're about to find out.
All right, brother.
Get in here and crowd up next to him so I can see what he's doing.
Oh, yeah.
Now you can flip these over. Sometimes that's what people will do. Sometimes that's what I'll do. But I'm actually feeling on this side and on this side where that bone is at. And I can tell where to cut.
Nice.
For those of you that don't want to flip them over,
Yeah.
you know. It's just
Well, you know, in
one-
competitions, it'll mess up that top sometimes if you flip them over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, one thing I'll do though is like I'll spray some some apple juice or some water on the cutting board, put some more sauce on there if I do flip them over. So that way they're laying in that sauce and liquid so it doesn't get stuck to the cutting board.
That is a pretty rib. Pretty smoke ring,
Yeah,
glistening.
flip it over.
Yeah, shine on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice
That's-
shine.
That's lovely.
Awesome.
So these spare ribs we seasoned with Cosmo Q's Killer Bee honey rub with chipotle. So that's the rub that we use on these. On the baby backs, remember we use the Cosmo
finger
Q Dirty Bird hot. So
My gosh, those are just the outside licking my fingers tastes so good.
yeah, that looks moist.
Don't mess up and bite your finger.
Looks moist to me.
Yeah, I don't bite my fingers,
I don't know if
man.
you guys can pick that up. But
It is right here.
that looks moist to
There
me.
you go. Cheers, brothers.
Cheers.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, I grabbed that end one on purpose just to see how it was down the tail end. And that rib still is moist, not too, you know, a lot of times that tail end will get tough.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it is moist, it is. Now I'm gonna get one out of the middle.
You get that sweetness from the honey and the brown sugar, you know, all that stuff that we added in there.
Oh, yeah.
That tiger sauce. And then I'm really digging the sauce, Johnny sauce on these ribs.
These are good.
It's a really good sauce.
That's tremendous. All right, what we doing now, James?
We are going to cut into these baby backs next. And these, I'm actually going to flip over.
Okay.
It's a little tougher, you know, the bend of the rib is completely different from the spares.
I'm gonna get close up on you there.
So these I'm actually gonna flip over to cut from the back side.
Okay. Let me move that one out the way for you. That way you get you some room to cut on.
Don't want it to be in the way, do you?
Nah. There you go, folks. Y'all check that out. Nice smoke ring. Look at the color on this. Oh my god. And we forgot to mention, we did throw a little bit of rib candy. The
Here we go.
cranberry,
Close up.
some cranberry apple, I think.
Yeah, one of the
there.
rib candies.
There's the other side, just so you can see what's going on there. Oh man.
Beautiful ribs. Y'all can hear T-Roy in the
I'm
back,
gonna set
but
that
these are
back over
pretty.
here just
James
for
is
this
slicing them up.
There you go.
Those are pretty ribs.
No kidding. Oh my god. James, you've outdone yourself today, man. Seriously.
Let's give these,
I tell you what, these
See
are
what
some of
they
the best
taste like.
ribs I've ever had, without a doubt.
let's give them a taste.
Yeah, yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, sorry guys.
Ah,
Johnny,
cheers.
there
you go.
He's another
Oh,
Justin.
I've done it
I'm
before.
going
Yeah.
straight at it.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent baby backs.
I know, man.
Nice bite.
And I tell you what, I'm a spare rib guy, but these can convert me over.
I like this rub. Which one was this?
The Dirty Bird hot from Cosmo Q.
Dude, that's good stuff, man.
It is.
Oh my god.
I can feel a little tingle
Right in the
on
back.
my lips from these.
I'm getting in the back of my throat, but I think I like this rub better than the other one. But they're both good. Really good. Good stuff. Darren, good stuff.
I tell you what, either one of these, I don't think you can go wrong. With either one. Both these turned out great. They got great flavor. This got a little more heat than our spare ribs did, but tremendous.
That's tender.
That's good, man. Thumbs up from old T-Roy. Good job, James.
Thank you, thank you.
My God. What else we have to taste?
Beef ribs.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
and,
that.
Brisket.
Brisket flat.
Brisket flat. So,
Yeah.
let's do the brisket flat
Okay.
next.
We'll do brisket flat next. That's what your brother James wants to see. Y'all stay tuned. Fifi, you can't have none
You
yet.
can get up here, Fifi.
He's like, where's the beef?
I know, right? Girl
She
likes
ain't messing
barbecue.
around.
She's a barbecue hound.
She knows that there's meat to be had.
For sure. And burn ends are still going out on the smoker out there, so.
Watch this right here. Just a little bit away from you.
Really?
So they can do this right here.
Oh yeah.
Kind of waterfall that over. So we can see it.
Slide that piece off to the side. See what's going on. And plus me and you get a little taste, don't we?
There you go. Nibble on the fingers a little bit.
There you
It gets better as I get, those are right at the end. Those
Oh,
are
yeah.
gonna kinda, since the end is thinner, they usually tend to flake up a little more. But as you get further into the flat, you can see it holds together better, and tends to be more juicier.
Is that proper English? More juicier?
More juicier.
Mm-hmm.
It is in Texas.
I know, right?
All right,
You
so
tell Brother James.
I'm gonna take just this middle slice
Brother James, would you please give her a slice? Ooh. My gosh.
here. And, as you can see, oh yeah, plenty of bend on that brisket, which is an indication that you guys can see that.
Yes, indeed.
The bend on the brisket. So, got a nice little smoke ring up on top. Smells good.
I think I
We're all here.
All right, I'm gonna get
You
one.
notice a wide angle lens got.
Take it all three of us.
Right now.
Cheers, man.
I remember this time. I didn't act like the hog.
Good job, man.
That's good.
It's good, but actually, I think I could have used a little bit more rub.
You know what we didn't do? We have that au jus over there.
That's true.
Dip it.
Yeah.
That's what actually, you know what, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab this au jus
Okay.
and kind of show you
Paint it on
what
there.
we would do in a competition.
All right.
Really cool. So in a competition, normally like I would take that au jus and put it in a pan, and I would take my slices, take about 4 at a time, dip them in the au jus, dab them on a paper towel, and then put them in the turn-in box. But in this, for tonight, we're just gonna dab it on here. And what that does is when that au jus is hot or it's warm, so it helps keep the slices warm as it's waiting at the turn-in table. But it also adds, there's a ton of flavor in here. You have the rub, the fat that's rendered out, the beef broth. There's just so much flavor in this au jus.
And a sheen. It's gonna put a sheen on that too. So when
true,
the
yeah.
judges see it, it's gonna have a little shininess to it. Because remember, you eat with your eyes before you eat with your mouth.
Exactly.
So when they see it, it's got that little sheen to it. And
Good point.
Absolutely. All right. Yeah, let's
Try
cut
this
some
again.
up. Yeah, we'll cut some up and
Do a retake.
you'll taste the difference
Okay.
from the first bite that you took
All right.
compared to.
It does look a lot better.
it does. See a light.
Yeah, I mean, there's
you see
just
a
so
light,
much-
you see a light bouncing off of it.
It's automatically gonna taste better, right?
Yeah, there's just so much flavor in this au jus. That compared to the first bite.
It's better. Definitely better.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that at all.
That's what it's missing.
Yeah, so normally when I cook a brisket, like for a catering gig or something, I always take the au jus, and after I slice it up, put it in the pan, I'll take the au jus and pour it right over.
It's like liquid gold right there, man.
We call that black gold.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man.
Yeah. And anything that's left over,
Uh-huh.
I'll save it for the next competition. Next competition, when I'm cooking a brisket, instead of adding beef broth, I add this. There's already beef broth in here, but there's tons of flavor from the rub to the fat that's rendered out. You know, this is just black.
Just
gold.
it multiplies. It multiplies.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. If you taste this compared to regular beef broth, this is gonna have a lot more flavor. So that's why I normally will save it and use that for the next brisket cook.
Good point. Yeah,
Man,
big
we
time
did
comfort.
good, man.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? Couldn't have done it without you.
There you go. that moral support I gave today.
That's right, man. That's right. All right,
I held the lid. I was
That's right.
pretty good at it.
I gotta get Karen a couple slices of this, and I'm gonna throw some of this on there. For
Yeah.
her. What else we got? We're gonna do some beef ribs, right?
Good beef ribs.
Yeah. Last thing is,
We still got
the
burnt
last-
ends.
That's right. The last meat here to cut
Yeah,
is
for
beef
right
ribs.
now.
Let's have some burnt ends, and then Brother Johnny's beans and potato salad, which I
That's
really
right.
want to taste. So we're gonna
See
do
how
that
it is.
number two. Yeah.
Goes good with barbecue. We got
Absolutely.
two good
My
sides.
two favorite sides for barbecue: beans and potato
Mm-hmm.
salad. So
I'm gonna try 'em.
I'm looking forward to it.
As you can see, I've made it back home. I tell you what, it was a great day with Troy and James. We had a lot of fun. We cooked a whole lot of food. And as you see, we didn't show the burnt ends, the potato salad, the ribs, beef ribs, or the Jack Daniel's baked beans. Those were shown on the live feed. We just got, where we were out of time, we had to get the live feed set up. So we did those online. And I tell you what, you will see some food get consumed. Watch that live feed and see James eat potato salad. Because I'm telling you, he enjoyed it. Oh, without a doubt. Troy did also. But we had a wonderful time. If you've never been to their channels, please go and subscribe, James and Troy. Wonderful guys. There's entertaining channels. There's a lot of knowledge on those channels. A lot of great things going on. So go over there, check them out. Appreciate that. I'm going to put the live feed down below. And I tell you what, if you've made it through this long video I put up, longest video I've ever put up, I believe. I tell you what, but there was things I wanted to show y'all I didn't want to cut out, so I just made it a long one. I hope you watch it. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you've made it this long, I know you're a true fan without a doubt. But thanks for stopping by. Tell your friends and family about us. Let them know what's going on Texas-style barbecue and cuisine. Tell them we're cooking up some great things over here, and we're visiting with some great chefs on the channel also. But thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. And we're going to see you down the road on Texas-style barbecue and cuisine.